new team. They will be facing off in our first quarterfinals game of the day. Grand Gaming has banned out Muriel, which means Arctic Wolves. Are they going to ban out Bellica? Or are we going to see something else here? What are we going to see?
I feel like Bellica is just an insta-ban right now. Like Bellica was first ban, first pick prior to the patch, and then I think she's actually even better now than she was previously.
Yeah.
Her stun, between the stunner and Iggy and Scorch. So
what?
I mean, don't get me wrong. You can't be mad at someone for banning Iggy and Scorch, but yeah, no surprise. Lieutenant Bellica picked up first pick here for Grand.
Yeah, instantly picked up. I mean, why would you not? Gadget is going to be picked up on the side of Arctic Wolves, and Rampage.
The Rampage.
As well. Oh, the Rampage, the jungle. He's back. God damn it, I love it. Grand Gaming, they've got a couple different options here, Shane. We've got their mid laner. I mean, Bellica could be their support. I could be totally wrong. Lieutenant Bellica could be their support. But
she's so versatile. She can be support, she can be mid, she can be offlane. I think she's good in all of them.
Yep, she can't jungle. J Leo and Meds and Tokyo Nicholas, don't jungle her and prove me wrong.
I hope they do.
I don't. Please, the rest of the people.
I'm calling you out. Jungle Bellica.
Don't do it. Please. So we've got. I mean, they've got extra time. They've got extra time. They're going to be picking this up. We got a Murdoch. We got a Murdoch picked up. He's made a return, man. He's made a return.
On the law, but I think it's just his ability to chase with hot pursuit, his damage with the natural armor penetration that he has built inside of his kit. Murdoch's always been my favorite carry. Long arm of the law is just a hilarious ability but it's a precision shot, and I really like that about his kit. The other carries oh baby, I'm sorry. One of my favorite all-time heroes.
Feng Mao?
Feng Mao. People get so triggered when I say Feng. That's how you pronounce it. It's Chinese. It's a Chinese name. It's Feng Mao. Get over it.
Still Feng.
Nope. And that's not even okay. That spell Fang. What do Sabertooth tigers have?
Stop it.
Fangs. That's not even spelled that way.
Narbash picked up on the side of Arctic Wolves here, and a Twin Blast picked up. It's not even spelled that way. Shane, walk us through the rest of this draft here.
Did I just not just done casting?
You triggered me. I quit.
Narbash back on the field, so obviously that's we're presuming a support Narbash here. Don't presume here on a new Dawn because everyone's still trying to figure this out. And there it is, Feng Mao and Richter and Lieutenant Bellica. This is a dream come true, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking forward to this though. Feng Mao, jungle or offlane? Notch, jungle or offlane?
Offlane.
I have a replay bug. I literally just have a giant 0 covering my screen.
I think we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see Feng in the jungle. No, I mean on the offlane. I think we're gonna see Feng in the jungle.
Chimera
with a Chimera being picked up. I definitely think we're gonna see Feng Mao in the jungle. I want to say Fang so bad. Epic, can I change it back to Fang?
Now, I don't know. I think it was Zeke. It was someone I talked to Epic that both pronunciations are appropriate.
So I'm going to say Fang.
I'm going to say
you
Fung.
Can say Fung. Perfect.
All right, that's okay.
This works for my salt levels.
All right.
And we got a Kwong. It's not Quang. You call him Quang. I'll call him Kwong.
No, I've always called him Kwong.
Articles pick up a Kwong here. I think we're going to see. I mean, maybe I saw Sundown run some sick nasty offlane Chimera. So maybe we'll see offlane Chimera right now.
It's too early to go full S&D.
It is too early to go full Sundown. You never go full Sundown.
S&D doesn't stand for Sundown, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. So yeah, let's that's a Grand Gaming have quite the engage on their team here. Chimera, Richter, Feng Mao. It's going to be hard for them to peel. Arctic Wolves is going to have a task ahead of them if they want to peel this big front line that's going to be coming at their face.
They've got the engage, but they also got you've got seismic assault into a hook. They've got everything. They've got so many different ways to lock down a target. It's going to be interesting to see how Arctic Wolves deals with this draft, deals with their ability to lock down a target, deals with their engage. And I want to see the builds on these guys. I want to see how heroes are being built. Again, one of the things we've been talking a lot about, guys, is gems and cards. It's a new game. There's new cards. How are people building? And that's something we're going to focus on because it's new for all of us. We've all had a week and a half to play. We're learning how do the best players do it. Shane, let's jump into this game, baby.
We're gonna see Richter.
We are gonna see Richter
before, and the last time we saw Richter, it was on Shu. I know I'm not saying that right. But we're gonna call him Shu. It's gonna be support Richter again with that. That's not quite emerald green. It's like a turquoise. I would say. What do you think? Is that a turquoise notch?
Are we running a fashion show or a tournament here?
All right. Well, fashion is important. You got to make sure that while you're styling on your opponents, that you look good doing it here at the Paragon Competitive League. But anyways, it's going to be a support Richter again as he does a little calisthenics, a little jump rope right there. And over in the off lane is going to be the okay. So it is going to be a off lane Feng Mao, and I'm not even have time to announce these guys because mid lane Richie man as Lieutenant Bellica gets rotated on very early here. But so Feng Mao, a hero we have pretty much not talked about at all. He's still the same hero. He's elusive. He has big burst damage. He can be difficult to take down once you actually do catch him. But I think the big thing, the biggest advantage that he has early on is he actually has the highest base movement speed in the game right now.
I did not know that.
Yep. Little factoid for you. Feng Mao is the highest base movement speed in the game.
Well, that is good to know that the Fang is quick. He's quick, ladies and gentlemen. So mid lane, we saw a good collapse on mid lane, Shane. They've got a ton of CC. No Regurts and Crazy Fool collapse. They landed that double stun. They picked the kill on Richie Man pretty easily. Crazy Fool doing a good job zoning Saw Rule out right now. We've got Kwong in the off lane, Shane. I'm expecting a growth. We see growth order build on Kwong here. Picking up that Godmother Vigilant. And also, again, Lamplight. We talked about the Lamplighters a little bit. Wards in pub games. Wards in a public environment. We're not seeing a lot of them. Right. But for these heroes that are running Sevarog, Rampage, Kwong, I've even seen Fang do it, running Godmother Vigilant, the Lamplighter and Godmother Vigilant combo is so good. You're getting a lot of health out of that Godmother card. And again, it's an elevate ability, Shane. So what the elevate means is it has to be the only card that's in your deck. With Lamplighter being
in your hand, only card that's in your hand. Actually,
equipped. Only card that's equipped. Yeah, sorry, in your deck equipped. The thing with Lamplighter is it's a consumable. So you get your wards, you place your wards. The moment you place those wards, that card goes away, and all of that bonus stats that comes from Elevate instantly take effect. So it makes wards for Order heroes building that way very easy to pick up, and it still gives these teams that vision and control over the map that they need on Orb Prime, on certain hallways, paths coming out of the jungle, so you're not getting ganked, so you're making sure Orb Prime's not being picked up for free, so Rappers aren't being picked up for free. So I expect to see a very similar build on Tribal here with that setup. So
and with the big attribute boost you get from the Elevate cards, yes, by ward you do get a little bit economically behind on your attribute points, sure, but that's mitigated by the fact that you have a card that is giving you a really strong power boost during the mid game when it's the only card you have equipped. So it's just one of the beautiful things with the new card system. I absolutely love that design principle where it's not just a matter of statistics. There's actually just ways of manipulating decks, manipulating cards, and creating little nuanced sort of strategies and tactics like that try to just get the most efficiency out of your build that isn't just straight raw damage.
Right. We've got a couple cold weeks online for Murdoch here. Again, we've got Shoes picked up his Lamplighter, Font of Experience in the mid lane for both of the Talrino, and Richie Narbash on Crazy Fool also has that Font of the Experience picked up. So it's either a in-game bug or it was a bug. We fixed it. We're good. It's fixed now. Version 42, new dawn, new bugs.
Hashtag new dawn.
Hashtag Epic working it out. This replay system, they said it earlier. Replay system is priority for these guys, especially with what you mentioned with KL. The future of the competitive side of Paragon is continuing to grow. So we're going to see a lot of fixes come to that. Changes and fixes come to that. Shane, Chimera in the jungle. Let's talk about Chimera in the jungle.
Please, let's do. Two heroes we haven't seen thus far, Chimera and Feng. Let's talk about them.
Where do you think they stand? Where do you think Chimera and Fang stand? Like where I know we're only a week and a half. I know a true meta hasn't formed, but where do you think they stand in competitive play?
Chimera, obviously, his kit is based around the region that he gets from his auto attacks. Auto attack speed has been boosted across the board, so I think that alone was just a buff for Chimera. But more importantly is his ability to... Early on, Chimera really couldn't use ambush that many times before he was completely out of mana. That isn't as quite as prevalent as it was before, so he's able to use ambush a little bit more. Plus, with the new card, I think the new cards just can... There's cards that work on Chimera that really wouldn't work as well on other junglers, specifically inside of the growth and the order world. And I think that's what's really going to enable him, is not necessarily the boost he got directly through his kit, but the new card system. What can Chimera's kit meld with the new card system the most? He just picked up 3 cards here that any jungler are going to get no matter what. Flame of Zekin, the Exoskeleton, which just gives you a little bit of damage mitigation, and of course the Mother Tree, which gives you region. But the mid-game card is what I want to see for Chimera, and I think that's really going to dictate the sort of style that we're going to see with this Chimera. Is this a DPS Chimera, or is this a tank Chimera?
Yeah. I want to talk about a card that we haven't seen a lot of. Mr. Guru picked it up, Shane, called Profiteer. This card is a combustible card. It's a chaos card. Gives you 4 power. Earn 55 bonus gold for enemy minion kills. So he's giving himself extra gold for every kill. Now, if he dies because it's a combustible, the card goes away. That's one of the
it's a
risk reward.
Yep.
With that particular card, because it's cost you gold. Now you die, you've lost that gold, but you haven't been able to...
1,000 gold, correct?
That I don't know I think that one's, yeah, I want to say 1,500 for that one.
Gotcha.
So it's a pip. It's a pip is what it is. It's one attribute he missed out on, but it potentially has the ability to snowball him and give him that extra gold to pick up cards much faster here. Mid lane, Talrino going in onto Richie Man. Richie Man's going to drop that Void Drone. He's playing Ring Around the Rosary right now. Tesla Dome is out. He's taking quite a bit of damage. Boulder is going to miss. Does look like he's going to go away. Re-engagement on Adrian on Talrino here.
He's going to use the call, the double seismic assault. Talrino's just getting knocked around, still somehow alive. Survived the onslaught of Chimera as well as the Richter. No one going down right there. That was very, very close for the first real engagement of the match. Bumping of the fists. All the meanwhile, they're just going to tuck tail and get themselves back to base.
He bounced off the head of
I was wondering why Talrino got like knocked back. I was wondering what that was about. Okay.
He bounced off the head as the seismic assault knocked him up into the air. He bounced the head of Adrian, pushed him back, and he didn't take any damage from the bomb. So that's why he survived.
Oh, way to go, Talrino. Big place, big place.
CDPs, boys.
Nope. Murdoch is just going to be following or continuing to kill creep. I did a little math here. Now, anytime we do math, it's risky, especially when I'm talking about it. So for Profiteer, I believe that's 27 CS before that card essentially pays for itself. I'm probably wrong about that, but obviously it's all about making sure you get as much value out of that card as you can at very minimum, paying itself off, and then after that, you just get just a big economical boost. Already at 60 CS is Mr. Guru. So if we take a look at his CS compared over to Rada on Murdoch, he's at 57. So they're neck and neck, but obviously it's going to favor Twin Blast because he went a little risk versus reward, and right now he is getting much more of that reward.
Yeah, this Call of the Week card is a really, I mean, if you struggle last hitting or you want to make sure you're securing that farm, Call of the Week, once a minion gets below 20% health, it's executed. So he's instantly killing a target below 20% health. He's getting that extra 55 gold every time he kills a target. So not a bad card, and they haven't applied any pressure, so he's getting full benefit of this card right now. There's a little engagement by the purple buff here. It does look like Bellica is going to pick it up. And no regrets is just going to leave there wounded because he didn't get his little purple buddy.
Raptors 9 minutes in, one is already down, and they're going to continue to take that there. Adrian can take that up with Chimera health regen. It's going to be a good boost economy over on to Murdoch here. Already picked up the Guard Piercer, which is that death card that's just pure raw damage. That's one of the big things about death is it has 2 variations of just pure damage, both for abilities as well as basic attack. One of the reasons why we see that being favored over onto carries big damage heroes such as that. Over in mid lane here, we are the jungle. Big initiation. She's in trouble underneath the Tesla Dome. Mr. Guru is at the high ground, just popping off on him. Finally, Adrian recognizes the positioning, jumps over to him, but the rest of his team is able to provide some support and some peel. That means Chimera really isn't able to do his job and latch on to anyone.
Oh my gosh.
Punished big time there. Wow, there was a gadget there at one point. Now it's Feng Mao's in trouble. Reaping dash away. Mr. Guru jumping forward, trying to get another auto attack. Maybe there's a grenade. Does he have the distance? Does he have the damage? Jumping forward again. Trying to do it. Ventilate. And there's the conversion shield. He doesn't have the angle quite yet. Is Feng Mao going to be able to get away? He is. So the mobility of that hero paying off the dividends, is able to keep himself alive. But that engagement inside of the jungle, a pretty even engagement. Gadget got taken out, as well as, I believe it was Rich, or I'm sorry, it was Talrino who got taken out on the side of Arctic Wolves.
Yeah, like you said, pretty even engagement. Good call from both of those guys. Crazy Fool basically got shut down at the beginning of that fight. Crash Bang Boom went off. Shu silenced him. They picked their targets apart pretty quickly. That Tesla Dome was able to secure that kill onto No Regrets, but we saw that damage coming out of Richie, man, Shane. That combo knocked him up into the air, and then of course that bomb, and just Talrino was there, and then Talrino was not there anymore. It was very quick. Lots of burst damage coming out of these casters. It's one of the reasons Bellic has been banned, because of the damage she provides and how quickly she provides it. You combo that with her Void Drone and her ultimate, most casters aren't going to be able to survive. And again, even if you're a frontliner pretty tanky, she's such a good way to deal with you that very few people are countering her right now. That's why we're seeing her banned as often as we are. I do want to point out, guys, Pith in our ear told us 1,500 for the Profiteer. So Pith was wrong. Shane, the Profiteer costs 2,400 gold. Thanks, Pith.
Gold. Okay.
Thanks,
got it. We're learning. We're learning.
We're all learning the card system here. So.
And it's a beautiful thing, and thank you guys for being part of the broadcast and having these teams go at it thus far. He's not in trouble. He's a Kwong. You see how tanky he is? He just took a skewer, a hook, a silence, and like 8 auto attacks from Murdoch, and he's like, "Nah, I'm chilling. I'm good.
We good." Tier 1 tower is gonna fall. We're 12 minutes into the game. So I said this was early game a couple games ago. People didn't agree with me. Do you think the flow of the game with match times? What's our early game? What's our midpoint? What are we looking at for those? Are they going for Orb Prime?
I think right now there's definitely a very the transition from early to mid is, I don't think, quite yet fleshed out, because teams are just so oriented around getting pickoffs and not playing maybe to put tower pushes and things like that. But the Orb Prime, finally a contention on Orb Prime. Teams just been able to get away with it here. The shoot does get taken out. Sawmo gets the kill. The big Tesla Dome, and Sawmo is just underneath it, taking the brunt of the damage. But Rampage in some trouble. Adrian's going to go in. He gets stunned up right there, trying to do what he can. Latches over, ambushes onto the Rampage. Is able to pick up the kill, but the Orb Prime is just sitting there. Adrian is ripped. That's such an awful feeling when you're at like 15% HP, and all of a sudden you hear that little tick, 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 tick. You're like, no! But Arctic Wolves take a very good engagement there, fighting into the Orb Prime pit against a Tesla Dome. That's what's going to result in, is not a favorable engagement. Talrino did work that fight.
He picked up a quadra kill. Tesla Dome on the 3. They basically had to take the full brunt of that. We're seeing the damage coming out of those sticky bombs. He picks up a quadra. They make sure Orb Prime doesn't fall. That was a very risky engage coming out of Grand Gaming, trying to pick up that Orb Prime 13 minutes into the game. I know they had a slight advantage, but not much. Tower's going to fall pretty quickly. What happened to Murdoch?
At one point there was a Murdoch, and then he got thunked with a drumstick of Crazy Fool, and Mr. Guru just double shotted him down, and not much Shu could do at that point. Without the hook landing, anytime you see a Richter, no matter the position, it's so important. If you don't land those hooks, you're not going to be a big contributor. Adrian now getting invaded in his strong side of the jungle. A little lack of game sense right there, I think, opened up that pickoff over to the blue team there, as they again get another kill. And they're just Grand Gaming. They're unknown sort of group of, I'm sorry, Arctic Wolves rather, are a team that we're aware of, but with player names, the only real semblance of Arctic Wolves of old is Crazy Fool. Everyone else on here, with maybe the exception of Mr. Guru, are players who have been a name in the competitive scene, but really haven't had much success on a team. So I'm glad to see that we're starting to see new rosters and just new players really start to make an impact inside of the game, especially with the new Dawn, man. Everyone wants a piece of the new Dawn. Everyone.
I mean, I'm all about it. I'm all about it. Mr. Guru, so we finally see a chain. Mr. Guru, he's picked up the lifesteal.
Oh, buddy.
What just, well...
A boulder into 5 people hitting you. Tesla Dome just sitting there zoning out Adrian. It doesn't matter. This Chimera cannot seem to get anything going here, especially with Richter not being in presence of the fight. Saul tries to rotate around and get something going as well, but Archibald are just on point right here, rotating, protecting Twin Blast, making sure Mr. Guru has all the space positionally in order to get the damage down and get the farm, and 3 more kills go over to Archibald here. They are, at this point, really starting to run away with this. Orb Prime last time, they weren't able to get the Orb Prime. They took a very successful fight, but right now, with the off the heels of that engagement, they should be able to pick this up here pretty cleanly, especially with Tribal sort of zoning inside of the strong side jungle of Grand Gaming at the same time. Yeah,
this will be uncontested Orb Prime here. They're going to be able to pick this up. Good engagement. No Regrets uses that Flame of Zetchin to deal with the last 10-15% health of Orb Prime there. He does miss the leap up the ledge there. Nobody saw that. Nobody saw that. No Regrets. Landed it perfectly. 10 out of 10. But you know, we're seeing articles like you said, Shane. A lot of these guys have played before on different teams. Crazy Fool has been keeping articles together. I think they've got a good lineup here. Taurino is a very strong mid laner. We saw him back in the day. Agoro's Rising 1 was, you know, we casted Taurino back then, and he's back in the competitive scene. And we're seeing really good plays coming out of these guys. Great collapse. They've got strong CC. Boulder into a thunk. You search and destroy on top of that. Target's not getting away. They can just pick a target, blow that target up, and that's what exactly what we saw in that engagement that led Prime. Adrian jumped in, got blown up. They turned around, got Saw, and then picked up that Orb Prime.
No Decker. It's so weird not seeing Decker, like Decker being completely ignored. I think this is the first time in the history of competitive Paragon that Decker has literally gone completely ignored.
I think it's because of the strength of Muriel and Narbash, and the fact that Decker still has that stasis bomb bug. It's not 100% reliable. And that's right true. Now you're looking for that reliability. Are we going to be able to make sure we lock down a target? And you get that with Thunk, which is a pretty easy stun to land. And then you combo that with a boulder and a sticky bomb. Like I think that's the reason we're not seeing her, is the strength of Narbash and still that stasis bomb bug being an issue.
Oh, Murdoch just got torn apart right there by Gadget. There was a successful hook over onto Twin Blast, so they do get a reprisal kill onto the carry. Richter's going to pay for it in blood as he gets taken down. Now Adrian is just trying to chop down minions and try to get some regen going, but it's not going to matter. A beautiful tether right there from Sawbull actually was preempted with the Reaping Dash. Taurino gets a sticky bomb again, and this Gadget has just been doing work this game. Taurino, man, look at him go. The damage of this Gadget is just, they can't handle it.
Did he just get another Fodder kill?
Yeah, that's a no-show.
I think he picked up like every one of those kills right there. They just can't, there's nothing they can do against this. The CC is too much. The damage coming out of Gadget it's bananas. First of all, it's bananas.
I can use a sandwich. What type of sandwich should I make?
A banana sandwich. They have another tier 2 tower being pushed. Orb Prime has fallen off, but they still have the damage. They still have that split push one. They pick up 2 tier 2s, inhibitor down, minions that were stronger than before on the map. The economical advantage on the side of Arctic Wolf is I mean, they've got a lead, bud. They've got a lead, Shane. At this point, what does Grand Gaming have to do to come back? Is there a means? Is there a way for them to turn this fight around?
Did you say is there a means to an end, or is there a memes to an end?
Is there a memes to an end?
Yes, but that's for another broadcast. That's for the after show. I think the biggest issue here, again, and I hate to harp on it, I think it's the biggest glaring issue inside of the draft, is the support Richter. I've not felt his presence. He finally got a good hook over onto Mr. Guru, and they were to isolate him and get the kill. But the best way you deal with that Richter is you just counter-initiate onto him. You hard-initiate onto the Richter every single time he lands a hook, and if it's a Richter's under-leveled, under-farmed, if he is not at least parallel in farm and levels with his opponent, he's just going to die every time. Right. In the middle of that rant, Mr. Guru was able to get a kill over onto Saul Mule. The big front line, this is a draft that is we're going to have a big front line, and we're just going to run at you. This draft is about running at people and killing people. But now that they're behind on levels, they don't have the HP that they need to withstand the onslaught of all the damage, especially on the side of Taurino, then the core principle of their draft no longer can really be applied strategically. And I think that's the biggest weakness right here. 20 minutes in, second inhibitor under siege. But yeah, they just can't run at people. That's the whole purpose of the trap.
I mean, I think this is just, at this point, I'm going to call it a free inhibitor. They're going to try and make their... No Regerts is pushing up that minion wave because minions
that
right now...
That triggers me so much. Every time you said it, I didn't realize I thought it was regrets, and you've been saying regrets, and I just realized it. Oh,
no regrets. So they're going to apply the pressure here. I mean, they've got the advantage.
Man.
Hook is there, but Shane, look at this.
They're just cleaning them up right there. Beautiful initiation coming out from Tribal Deuce, and he got the deuces, and he tethered two people up as well as the Fury of the Heavens. Taurino being this far, man, a gadget far ahead. These sticky bombs are just chunking people down. Absolutely ridiculous. 4 people down on the side of Grand Gaming once again. 2 inhibitors down. This should be Arctic Wolves putting the nail into the coffin, taking this game in the most convincing game we've seen today.
Yeah, Arctic Wolves played that really, really well. They got the lead. They got the advantage. That's the big thing right now. Minus minion waves being the size that they are, once you get that advantage, once you get that advantage, you need to continue to apply the pressure. And that's what Arctic Wolves did. They picked up a lead. They started getting the extra card points, the attributes where they're picking up those gems, where they're getting those little power spikes every 6,000 gold. And we saw them take that lead and just run away with it. And Grand Gaming, really, there was nothing they could do. They had no answer back to that. Arctic Wolves is going to pick up their first win. Gadget popped off and picked up 2 quadra kills that game. Mr. Guru ended it with a triple kill. Really, really good game coming out of Arctic Wolves. I like this lineup. I like this Arctic Wolves lineup, Shane.
They look really good.
They look really good. It'd be interesting to see if they move on against them, against the Reborn, for example, a team that's been around for a while and really hasn't had much shakeups in their draft. Because Arctic Wolves, it seems to be every time we talk about them, two or three new players are on that team. So hopefully they found a team that that works well with them, and we see them move on. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be jumping into another game here in just a minute.